Ola from the latest season of Love is Blind Sweden is a perfect example of why you should avoid dating men with restrictive lifestyle slash diets. Because often this restrictiveness and this controlling behavior manifests into relationships. And I feel like that's pretty much with diet culture in general. When people have good things, bad things, good foods, bad things, good lifestyle, bad lifestyle choices. Again, this manifests into the relationship and can often turn into a controlling partner trying to control attributes of their partner. Now, Ola has acknowledged that he is very restrictive and should probably be less restrictive, and this is something that he's working on. But I feel like he needs to go work on that on his own and not be trying to work on that as he's trying to find a wife and now traumatizing his wife because he hasn't handled his shit. And this is why I usually swipe left on profiles of men that emphasize healthy lifestyles and things like that. Especially when they're like, I have a very healthy lifestyle and I wish to have a partner who has the same. They're going to be policing you and they're going to be checking you. And they're going to use it under the guise of health and all of that rubbish. And I feel like there is a really strong correlation of men who have very strict slash rigid diets slash lifestyles, also having very rigid and restrictive ideas of what a woman should be and what type of woman they find attractive. And like I said, we see this with Ola. The first red flag in regards to like this now coming into play was basically it was talking about how he cuts out sugar, coffee, gluten, all of these things, right? He cuts out, quote unquote bad foods, right? Yeah. Whilst MILLY says that, she basically has whatever she wants. She mixes wine with Coca-Cola, and she likes really sweet things. And yeah, that's how she likes to live her life. And he basically said that triggered her. Imagine you're having a cheeky margarita and your man is triggered because of the sugar content in the margarita. Like I said, he's acknowledging that this is a red flag trigger, but is he really doing the work to resolve it? That remains to be seen. Now, the next one that he fixates on is MILLY's hair. And we see the foreshadowing of it when they meet and he's basically talking about, oh, your hair is shorter than mine. And I thought, okay, that's interesting to point out considering that they both have short hair. Like fair enough if his hair was very long, but they both have short hair. But he was talking about, oh, your hair is shorter than mine. So yeah, I was thinking, okay, interesting. And he basically says to him, a woman is supposed to have long, luscious hair. And he basically says that women with short hair are masculine to him. Like basically they look like men. Again, he acknowledges that this is problematic to think this way, but he says, well, this is the way that I think and it's a me problem and I need to figure it out. Now, initially he keeps this to himself and I was thinking he's not going to keep this to himself for long. But juxtaposed to MILLY, and she's basically smitten, talking about he's taken away with me. I know he thinks I'm so beautiful. He thinks I'm so hot. Like, yeah. Meanwhile, she don't know that he's basically looking at her thinking she looks like a man. And then on top of that, MILLY does have like masculine like facial features as well. She kind of has like a more masculine body type. And honestly, in terms of short hair, I feel like her short hair is quite feminine. In terms of short hairstyles, like I get the whole like short hair is masculine, but her short hairstyle is quite feminine, but I do feel like the rest of her is quite masculine. And I feel like perhaps maybe he's starting off with the hair before he goes further. And I feel like potentially he probably would go further. And Ola definitely gives me, he wants like, a prepubescent looking woman with long luscious hair, no body hair, must smell like a bed of roses all the time. It's given that. But anyway, like I said, he wasn't going to keep this whole short hair fixation thing to himself for very long. And Bay end up having a conversation, and he brings it up because I think Millie is a twin, and her twin has long hair. And he's basically saying, how did that come about, why did you decide to get short hair? She explains the story. But it seems like he's like questioning her to see if she would be open to like growing it out in the future. It's giving, will you wear wigs? And Millie is very much set in her ways, and she's going to be keeping her hair short. And that's when he reveals the whole spiel about, how he feels that, long hair is feminine and short hair is masculine on women. Again, he says this is his problem. This is something that he wants to work through. But he definitely put it out there just to let Millie know that he wants her to have longer hair, low key. So obviously Millie is taken aback because she's like, this guy is just casually just throwing a shot at me, like basically saying that he thinks I look masculine. And mind you, he's saying all of this holding her hand. So she basically says, oh, so are you saying that you don't think that I'm beautiful? Still holding her hand, mind you. Please tell me why this man said, yeah, I don't think you're beautiful. What? Sir? Imagine you ask your man, so you're saying I'm not beautiful? And he says yes. No, you have to dump him. You'd have to dump him after that. A man who is not attracted to you cannot do anything for you. Why waste time? But then again, they were on the engagement mood. Maybe, they want to enjoy the holiday, the free holiday. Maybe I would have stayed for the free holiday. But after that, dumped. And then we see them in the trailer for the next batch of episodes. This guy's still going on about the hair. I don't know if she brought it up because she was offended and was basically like, whenever you bring this up, it hurts me. But they're still on this topic of the hair. So he's still finding her ugly. And he's talking about, I'm not going to apologize for my feelings, huh? No, hun, the disrespect is too much. And it was just a casual disrespect for me. Like it was nothing. Like there's no viable relationship after this, based on this pure embarrassment alone. But I gotta hear from you guys. Was he just keeping it real, or do you feel like Ola is a bit of a weirdo and a bit of a control freak? What do you think about these guys out here with restrictive diets and restrictive lifestyles? Do we feel like it's a red flag, or do we feel like, they're really taking their health seriously, or do we feel like it indicates something else? Because, Ola definitely looks like he hasn't had like a piece of nice chocolate in a while, hun. And it seems like it's taken a toll. But I gotta hear from you guys on this whole situation. Would you continue your engagement with a man who basically says that he thinks you're ugly with your signature hairstyle? I gotta hear from you guys.